now and introduce you to one of the newest members of the News 8 team. You might recognize his face as he's been reporting here at WQ80 since about the end of July. It's our newest reporter, Jonas Evans. Jonas, thanks for being here with us today.
Of course. It feels, I mean, I've been reporting for so long, it feels like this needed to happen.
I know, right? And he's a very busy bee today. You have a story you're turning, so we appreciate your time. But why don't you start off by telling people where you're from and where you went to school?
Of course, yeah. I'm from Glenview originally, if you haven't heard of it. It's a suburb of Chicago in the north. Grew up there, loved the area, and then I moved to the University of Maryland, where I started to study journalism, really started to grow a passion for it. And yeah, I mean, growing up in Glenview, the Midwest, it's always kind of been part of my identity a little bit, so it just feels really kind of perfect to be here as well.
Well, like we said, you've been here a few weeks already. What are some of the stories you've covered so far?
I had this really awesome experience at this one retirement home called Star Life in Davenport. They do a slip and slide for the seniors every year, and it was like incredible to be a part of. They were having so much fun. It was such a unique thing. One of the first stories I got to cover. Really incredible stuff. Very like representative of the community that we have here.
No kidding. What kind of stories do you like to cover?
Well, community kind of is, it's the perfect word for it, I think. I really like things that a community is interested in, personal stories, people's stories, something that maybe your neighbor or your parent would be interested in because it affects a community at large. That's the kind of stuff I like because it really feels like it, you know, is the role that we serve as local news is getting into the nitty-gritty stuff that maybe isn't a national headline, but is of important note here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so what kind of drew you to this area though? You're from the Midwest, Illinois, born and raised. Why did you come to the Quad Cities?
Well, actually, yeah, my time at Maryland, I didn't expect to come back here. I thought I was kind of leaving Illinois for good, and I don't know, it was something about being away from the Midwest for so long. I missed it a little bit, honestly. I mean, this area is just beautiful. It's very unique. I've gotten to live on a coast in Maryland. I've gotten to live near a big city in Chicago. But I've never really been on a river in like a town like this with 4 cities. It's really beautiful. The Mississippi is something. Like every time I drive over it on the way back from work with the sunset, it's really special. It makes me feel really good about the decision. And I mean, it's wonderful to be here. This is such a unique area with so many different unique places. It's really something.
Seriously, I always tell people that. I mean, you could just spend months trying to do everything in the QCA and you'd never see and do it all.
And I think it's so crazy how different each city is. Like, you know, they're so close to each other. Everything's a 15-minute drive away, but every single town has a little bit of a different story.
Well, let's talk about some stories. You'll be spending the next few years doing journalism all over the area. What is something that maybe you're looking forward to or a goal you have?
I really want to get into the driving manufacturing force of this area. I had this awesome story that I did earlier last week where ALM positioners had won Business of the Year. And if you're wondering what a positioner is, I had the exact same question. They're these giant rigs that basically lift up all this heavy machinery. And through that story, I got to know a lot about like the manufacturing industry behind this area and Illinois in general. And I just want to learn more about that. I want to get to know kind of the business of this area, what drives the people that make all the money here. That's what I'm interested in.
Well, last question for you. Outside of work, what do you like to do?
Can you tell I'm a tall guy? Can you tell? No, and not only basketball, by the way. I play every sport. I love to move around. I love to hike. I mean, this is a kind of a perfect area for that because there's so many hiking trails and the Mississippi is so beautiful. So yeah, I love sports. Even as a news guy, I thought I was going to be a sports guy. Moved to news, but I still always had that sports passion. So.
Well, did you mention what your favorite sport to play is? Did you even say it?
Tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might not expect that, I guess, but yeah, early age. My mom wanted me to play a sport that I could play my whole life, and apparently that's a line that a lot of tennis players get. So.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Universal sport.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, Jonas, we're so happy you're on the team. Thank you so much for dropping by today.
Of course, I appreciate it. Thank you, Shelby.